Disguised as me, I approached the door, which was locked jammed tight and to the floor. I began to pound and throw my fists. It was through this door, the state of bliss. I noticed a sign at the edge of the door was proper and bold, you've heard it before. With sounds like the jungle on fire with rage, I strongly determined to turn the next page. Pushing and fighting and tearing my skin, I wrestled this door to try and get in. With strength from the sun and red in my eye, I looked at the knob and let out a sigh. The door was unlocked. I don't think I tried. I opened it up and walked right inside. Through a barrage of smog and disease, a monster so large I came to his knees. He reached out to grab me and bite off my head. I opened my mouth and bit him instead. I tell you, I was a broken man with millions of pieces missing. My face was hidden behind the bandana on the wall next to the high-heel shoes and S&M chick. I was a monster full of rage and angst. Phones rang in my mind. People talked in the showers. The billboard outside my window gave me a message from God. Planes protected my area and the highway was my neighbor. One day, I smashed my head against the side of the wall until it cracked open like a melon. And one day I didn't. Torn promises, shattered dreams, restless nights, quiet screams. Oceans of movements drowning in time, whistles from trees bent out of line. In the amazement through the mirage, turn the ignition, close the garage. Suicide memory never completed, please don't stand, remain seated. I lost my mind and then my soul. I stayed inside my sorry hole. Blankets placed over windows. Tiny TV turned up loud. Reflections from everywhere. My cat looked like a cop. There I sat for years and years, smoke-filled room full of tears. Minutes, like hours, the doorbell rings. He has the power in what he brings. Suicide memory, all that's left. Wanting and waiting for my death. In the twilight of my mind, or should I say the night, I wandered oh so aimlessly with no regard for sight. The pictures were so prevalent. The sounds were all the same. Amongst the tortured cavaliers, I leaped inside this game. A little box left on my doorstep had me so surprised. I took it in and looked inside, and then I realized that on a night I wasn't me. I killed a little cat. My Mr. Hyde boxed it up and put it in the back. I drove my car across the town in a state of bliss. I took this cat along with me so I'd remember this. You see, my favorite animal has always been a cat, but on a run I do become a filthy little rat. Now I'm fine, or so I said, and in that box I look. To my dismay, I saw the cat, and then my body shook. The reason for that little game was so that I could see that when I'm in a drunk blackout, I'm really not me. The lesson here is noted well. I see what I can do. The next time that I'm going out, that cat might be you. I took a baseball bat once, and I beat a really large pile of laundry for almost an hour because I thought someone was hiding in it. The anxiety was so bad I wanted to stab myself in the neck, stick my hand inside, and pull everything out like long stem roses through a roll of masking tape. But I didn't. I used to be a big boss at the strip clubs. Everyone handed me money and drugs. Strippers like mannequins devour the night. Wise guys and drug dealers primed for the fight. Wrestling dreams from times in the past. Then going in the office to do another blast. Drinking and snorting until the evening ends, then hiding from the sun with my crackhead friends. I was wearing my tuxedo in the midst of danger. Then hiding in a peep show with a total stranger. Now and then, and in my sleep, I still see those dangers that kept me deep within the dark streets of pain. I worshipped lust and went insane. Restless nights I'd wander off to rooms of yellow that made me cough. Concrete miles I'd search for doom that left me hiding inside my room. Vertical couch I'd stand behind. See the person inside my mind. Dogs that growl out on the ledge. The spot on the wall is a microphone. I tell you, the 90s, in their wonder, had me by the throat. Sounds of crack and thunder brought me to the moat. I looked at me and didn't. The glass was full of lies. Hiding in the closet, I practiced my goodbyes. Off to space I'd wander, then lost in space I'd land. While praying for survival, I saw his saving hand. I left it all behind me and headed for the door. On the road to righteousness, a prisoner nevermore. Today I see the sunlight, and I welcome its return. The Holy Spirit helps me to listen and to learn. Through Jesus Christ I conquer those defects that can kill. And when I'm on the streets, I know my Father's will. Stay away from poison that takes us all the time. Live the life he gave me, the life I couldn't find. So to Christ I thank for dying on that cross. There's mercy and there's grace for those that are lost. On the other side of midnight, I saw the devil's claw. He grabbed my neck and pulled me close, then threw me to the floor. He made me look at paradise and see the crystal ball. He taught me how to fill the pipe, and then he ordered me to crawl. I listened to him every day and called him on the phone. I worshipped how he made me feel, and then sat at home alone. It wasn't until the break of day the terror set in fast. Those gifts he had delivered, I thought that they would last. Left with me and nothing else, I lie upon the floor, waiting for that phone to ring, and then I'd beg for more. This went on for quite some time. It took me for a ride. Never did I ever think I'd be a Mr. Hyde. My devil, king, master's throne forgot to tell me that once you go to paradise, you're never coming back. I fought to leave the hell I loved and cried every night. It wasn't until the Lord above came into the fight. The pain and lust that smothered me was too much to bear. I prayed to God, rescue me. And he was standing there with open arms all the time, but I just couldn't see Jesus Christ standing there, waiting patiently. That was 22 years ago, and I leave you with this. In 1978, before any of this happened, I wrote a poem because I liked poetry. It wasn't true. I just wrote a poem. And I leave this with you because it all did come true. It's called I Know. It happened so suddenly I was new in the town. I needed some friends, and how would it sound if the new kid was straight and didn't even smoke? They'd laugh me out like some sort of joke. I remember them crowding around one day, handing out pills, and one came my way. What else could I do but accept them with a smile? We took them every day, and after a while, I couldn't go without them. I always wanted more. There were many nights I was lying on the floor. Next was the needle. We'd shoot it in the arm. It made us feel real high. They said there'd be no harm, until one day I overdosed and went falling to the ground. My so-called friends left me there and simply turned around. I woke up in a hospital, my mother near my side. She grasped my hand. I looked at her. My God, I could have died. That was when I realized what I did was wrong, converting my whole life only to belong to a crowd with great misfortune who will never comprehend how beautiful life can be and how quickly it can end. Don't be a follower when a crowd comes one day. Be an individual, say no and walk away. I've been there, I know, believe me, I do. The drug scene is definitely not for you.